This happened to me recently on a plane.
Would you mind if we switch seats just for this last part? She really likes to watch out the window as we land, and it helps calm her down.
Yeah, no, even if I wanted to switch, I think it's more important that your daughter learn a valuable lesson. That's not how the world works, you know. Don't always get your way.
This situation happened to me recently on a plane coming back from Miami. There was a single mother sitting in my seat, and she asked if her daughter could sit next to the window. I denied her daughter the window because I'm one of those guys that when I go to buy a ticket, I always buy the ticket next to the window because there's something about watching planes take off that I've always loved since a little kid. For this particular flight that I was on, I was unable to get the window seat going to Miami. But on the way back from Miami, the window seat that I got was actually one of the window seats up front where you pay the money for the extra charge. So I told the single mother, I said, listen, I pay extra money for this seat so I can have the internet in this seat and sit closer. Sorry, but that ain't what we do.
The radical feminists who believe men lived on easy mode and tried to prove it by disguising themselves as a man for 2 years.
Because I have...
I'm telling you right now, this is a storm, and this is a recipe for the destruction of our society.
And you hate Americans with black skin color?
Absolutely not.
Nigga, what?
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. But can you do me a favor? Hit that notifications button right now and share this video. All right, guys, I got about 5 videos for you today. The first video is going to be Andrew Tate and his brother is going to be breaking down the story of a woman who decided to live as a man and ended up taking herself out because of the pressure that women were giving him. The next video is going to be Just Purely Things is going to be breaking down how she has 5 brothers, which is why she's a huge supporter of men, because not all men are bad. Then we have Steve Harvey, who is going to be telling the women to stop asking men certain questions. And this is the one that I want a lot of you women to pay attention to. And then we have a guy disrespecting her husband at a convention. And this guy is going to be breaking down what's happening in life. The next video is going to be, the last video is going to be Candace Owens explaining why she loves black people so much. But first, let's get to Andrew Tate and his brother with the story of the woman who lives as a man.
So bad that she had a woman who disguised herself as a man to find out how it is to live as a man committed due to the psychological scars of how difficult life was as a man. Nora Vincent, the author of Self-Made Man, has died by assistance. She was a radical feminist who believed men lived on easy mode and tried to prove it by disguising herself as a man for 2 years. Instead, what she found out is that men actually have it very hard, and wrote a book about her experience. In fact, the experience was so bad that she had to stop after 18 months because she was starting to hate women due to how bad the women treated her when she believed she was a man. It left her with psychological scars, which accelerated the end of her life.
It's a very sad story.
It is a sad story.
But it does paint a picture about the world that we already know and that we try to help.
And they're absolutely right. See, women don't know what it's like to live as a man because they always look at a man as being stronger to them. But when they try to live as a man, they see that it's really hard. Even the day-to-day women that wake up and go to their 9 to 5 and are put in power, once they get put in power and they start to take on the traits of a man and they start to take on the responsibilities of a man, a lot of women cannot handle this. And I've seen a lot of women like this in the military. My mother was a major in the Army, so I've seen her take on responsibilities as a man and break. There was a lot of times she was strong, but there was some times that my mother was broken because she had a lot of pressure as a man being a major in the Army. Women do not understand these pressures until they actually start to practice equal rights. This is why men do not give credit to OnlyFans. They do not give credit to the women who are using their body to come up. And the girls that get the credit are actually ones that go to college and maintain a job. Next video is going to be Just Purely Things breaking down why women are just choosing the wrong guys because she has 5 brothers.
I mean, I have 5 brothers, so when girls say things like men are trash, men are the problem, I'm like, okay, you can speak for yourself. Like, the men you pick are the problem. Because I have 5 really great brothers. I have a really great father, and so if you have an issue with men, like, that's a you problem, and don't put that on me.
And she's right, but we also have to do the same thing for men. A lot of you guys out there, you get hurt by one girl and you turn around and give every woman a one-size-fit-all for your pain. It's the same thing with women. Women can't get hurt by one guy and then run out and take it out on all the other guys. That's typically what people do. Hurt people turn around and hurt people to make themselves feel better, but typically hurt people who hurt people will end up hurt in the long run. Next video is going to be Steve Harvey saying what women should stop asking men. Let's get to it.
You got to know if he stop asking a man what's his favorite color, what he like to eat, where he want to travel to. You're learning nothing about this man. Ask him, what do you value most in a relationship? What quality is most attractive to you in a partner? What's your relationship like with your parents? What are your long-term goals? You got to know if he got a plan for a future.
And that goes the same for men as well. See, when you're talking about relationships, regardless of what we say about relationships, you're always thinking of the fairy tale. That's why it hurts so bad. Love is supposed to feel like Beauty and the Beast. Love is supposed to feel like Cinderella. Love is supposed to feel like The Notebook. Love is supposed to feel like everything that you've been watching on TV. But reality is, that's just there for entertainment. Everything on TV is amplified. The same thing with the internet. Everything is amplified. So whatever problems you're having in real life, they seem like very bad problems whenever you come to the internet. So whenever you are in a relationship, majority of your thought process is coming from that delusional blue space feeling, where you're thinking the woman is supposed to be feeling like a princess and you're supposed to be feeling like a man who gets her. So whenever you guys get on a date, you overly think everything. You need to be asking the right questions, like, are you really attracted to me, or am I just here to take up time for you because you were bored tonight? Do you really feel like building in a relationship, or are you just in it to get some cheeks and leave? You have to realize women have the same mindset as the man now. So men have to be brutally honest with what they want, because a lot of people are just dating people because they can, because that person's desperate and they just doing something to kill time until they come across somebody. So theoretically, people are just dating because they're bored. Simple as that. When you're dating because you're bored, you're gonna always have relationship problems because you really don't know what you want. You're hoping someone else figures it out. Next video, it's going to be a woman disrespecting husband at a convention. Typically, when you start looking at guys that like to brag about their relationships, whenever you start seeing women look like this with their husband and not allowing their husbands to kiss them, this is the guy she settled for. This is not the guy that she really wants. So if you're the guy out there who's trying to show public affection and this is what your woman does, just understand you're there for status. You're there to keep her from feeling lonely.
She wants to be with you.
I want you to wait until this generation of girls that have OnlyFans and sell their body online is supported and empowered. I want you to wait until they have children and their children see, because the internet isn't going anywhere. It's going to be on the internet forever. You think Lana Rhoades is going to ever have her videos wiped off the internet? No shot. It'll always be there. I want you to wait till her kid, who she doesn't even know who the father is, wait till that kid grows up and sees what his mother did. I don't know how bad our culture is going to be then, but I'm telling you right now, this is a storm and this is a recipe for the destruction of our society.
And he's absolutely right. That's what women are not understanding. See, they're allowed to use their body, go out, have sexual to feel good because it releases dopamine throughout the body. The woman who cannot think, right, who are not prepared for hard work, will always use her body to get ahead. But every woman is naturally going to want a family and going to want a child, regardless of the actions that she makes in her 20s. All these young girls talking about, I don't need a man right now, I'm independent, I'm this, that. He's right, I have to feel sorry for these girls. It's because they don't know what they're doing that's going to affect them in the future. And society is putting them in a position to fail so they can be controlled. Now, when their kids start to grow up, that's where the problem is. Generation Z kids don't really have a future yet. There's nothing really left for them to look forward to. So as I stop and I see And I see women that are having kids who are OnlyFans models, or even girls that are out here in the streets. They just don't know that they're just producing more humans that are going to destroy the earth. That's what it's like when you're growing up dysfunctional. Women are not afraid to have dysfunctional kids. They're just in love with having children. Next video is going to be Candace Owens breaking down how much she loves black people.
You hate Americans with black skin color?
Absolutely not. I actually love Americans with black skin color so much that I'm willing to fall on the sword 1,000 times for them to wake up and realize that we are being lied to, abused, and used by the Democrat Party.
She's absolutely right. This is what black people are thinking, not Negroes. All right, I'm gonna say it again. This is what black people are thinking and not Negroes. The only sad part about the community, it's to the point where is the juice really worth the squeeze? What do I mean is the juice really worth the squeeze? Is it really worth doing what Kanye's doing what Candace Owens is doing, and for all the blacks out there that are trying to wake other black people up? Is the juice really worth the squeeze to how people think about you and how they feel about you? Because it's hard trying to change something that don't want to change. That's kind of like, I understand what Kanye's coming from, and I understand what Candace Owens is coming from, and I back them 100% with trying to correct the black community, with trying to wake up the black community. But the more I look at the black community, I can honestly say they don't want to be woken up. You have to realize, Harriet Tubman said that she saved 1,000 slaves, but she could have saved 1,000 more if they only knew that they were slaves. That's how I feel about Candace Owens. I feel like she's a modern day kind of Harriet Tubman kind of way, but I don't want you guys to overthink that statement. And she's trying to wake people up and change them that don't want to change. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels, and share this video. Hasta la vista.